Hey guys, what's up? This week, Halloween.
We feel like we have a
There's a very theme oriented. So Halloween was last night. So we had a little bit of fun. I got to take my son out for his second Halloween. This one, I think he was a little bit more conscious for. The first one, it was just kind of getting carted around by me and my wife, and it was more of a just being outside for him, and at night, kind of cold, in a weird costume, seeing a bunch of people he didn't recognize. So
a little bit of rain on us.
I don't think it was anything new for him. He's really friendly with people. He kind of gets out there. And
That's good.
He tried to walk into at least 4 strangers' houses.
Nice.
Knock, knock, who's there? Trick or treat. Hey, can I come in and see everything you have? Like, just straight walked into their house. Like, not joking. I'm holding his wrist, and he's trying to walk into their house.
He's like, well, the door opened, you're supposed to go in.
Yeah, it's just what he knows how to do. Going in and out of things, crawling on things, climbing over people.
That's good.
Pretty much anything he wants, he goes for it at this point. So maybe he'll have that later in life. Maybe he'll go for presidency or something like that. I don't know. I hope not, because I don't want to go through any of that. That sounds like a total pain. But your kids, I mean, you had some fun with your kids.
Yeah, we had some fun. So we did all 4 of the older kids got pumpkins. This is one of them. You know, we had little hand. One of the ideas we had this week was carve a little hand out of the side of each pumpkin. It's actually super creepy when you see them all sitting around. But it was fun. They had a good time with that. And then we went out and we walked around. We did costumes. Walked around, did trick-or-treating. We have not really done, even though my kids are older, we haven't done trick-or-treating a lot. You got candy, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want my kids to eat a bunch of sugar. And then you've got, like, we've always had these, you know, there's events at like churches and stuff like that where you can go to a party and, you know, it's all indoors and it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty safe. You're not walking. I noticed last night, every single parent I saw wearing black in the dark.
Yeah, the parents are all wearing
no flashlights. And this was interesting to me this year. Nobody had a flashlight. I didn't see one flashlight.
We had a couple of people walking around with their cell phone flashlight.
Yeah, I saw a couple lightsabers. But like I feel like I remember when I was a kid, you had to have a flashlight.
Yeah.
And now it was like every parent is this blackout silhouette waiting to be hit by a random car.
Right. Well, that actually happened in the news. Father ended up... well, they both got hospitalized, his father and daughter. They were crossing the street. Car didn't stop.
Wearing pitch black.
Well, I don't know what they were wearing exactly. I didn't pay that close attention, but it was just a quick blurb on the news there. But he dove in front and shielded her with his body, so he got the brunt of it, but they both ended up in the hospital.
It's terrible.
And I mean, it's great for the bravery and all that, but I'm sure that was an easily avoidable situation for all parties involved.
It makes me paranoid. Like, I feel like when I'm out with my kids in public places, I am constantly counting kids.
Yeah.
That's all I do. That's the whole time.
Just make sure you got the brood.
Yeah. What do you remember about Halloween when we were growing up, and what does that make you think you want now?
So, my Halloweens growing up, I remember maybe 2 events that were sanctioned. The rest of them were like, well, you keep begging me for Halloween long enough, fine, I'll take you to something that I approve of. And I mean, we were raised Christian, but we were raised also with the belief that if you're participating in Halloween, somehow that's, you know, devil worship to some degree. And there was a little bit of, I wouldn't call it superstition, I would say it's specifically because of our religious upbringing that there was some negative connotations that were involved in Halloween. And the things that kids did then is no worse than the things that kids do now.
Right.
I mean, I've seen as much vandalism as out and about, you know, the things that I participated in as kids, smashing pumpkins, doing dumb stuff like that. And you were mentioning to me that somebody else had smashed pumpkins or would smash pumpkins if a coworker said that. But that was all, you know, it's kind of like the high school kids talked about it, you heard about it, so you went out and you tried to be cool, so you did it too. And there's ways around that nowadays. Don't leave a rotting giant vegetable on your porch for 2 to 3 weeks afterwards.
Yes.
Because kids will smash it.
Don't let it turn into a science project.
Right. But, we snuck out. I snuck out on multiple occasions because Halloween was basically forbidden. So I'd climb out my window wearing whatever I could throw together. Usually, like, I'm playing a house burglar this year. It's like put some baggy sweatpants on or something like that, wear gloves and put on a cutout face mask or something, or a hat or whatever. I don't remember, but it was a very
Well, we didn't
costume.
We didn't live really close to a lot of other houses.
The closest neighborhood was by the cornfield, so
it was a ways away from where our house
about
was.
a half mile, and then
in the dark,
and so
wearing his burglar mask,
sneaking out, running through the neighborhoods. I finally get to some place where people were still handing out candy because I had to wait till everybody closed their eyes. So it was basically 9:30 at night. I'm running around as a kid trying to get the last vestiges
in the
of
dark
where candy was available, and they'd say, aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating? We're like, not really, because I'd never done this before, man. I had to do this for the first time as a sneak-out operation, so I didn't really have the opportunity as a youngster to learn when the appropriate time to go out and do this.
Yeah.
So I was able to sneak maybe an extra pound and a half of candy my entire life, growing up.
I really didn't. I did not have that. So I was a little bit older.
Mm-hmm. When I was sneaking out, you were already working at Walmart.
I was like,
so it's like,
so I didn't really have that experience. Like, I grew up and Halloween was like a thing you didn't really do. Like maybe there was a couple of church things, but even the churches at the point when we were growing up, they hadn't really latched onto this idea. Like,
no, it was more of a harvest festival kind of thing, a bunch of hay bales.
And they did it like on the 20th or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even the same night. Like the church that we go to, like my wife said, there was like a whole party thing planned. We didn't go to it. We went out and we took the kids out. We got candy.
Right.
But there was a whole thing. I mean, it was a full-blown event.
Right.
And nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But they're on the day. They've got the stuff. They've got a plan. They have a schedule. I mean, it is taken pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that way when I was growing up.
Well, now it's a popularity contest, right? It's instead of it just being the costume that you're wearing, it's more about, what can you provide that you can't get out on the street trick-or-treating. And I had a kid show up basically a minute to midnight. It was 8:30 at night. I flipped the lights off. I'm like, what, I'm done. I'm going to sit down. Take off my Minion outfit. That's what I went as. I had a giant Minion one.
He had a costume, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I did not have a costume. I was dressed in dark blue, I told my girls, I'm the blue man.
Yeah.
I have blue jeans and a blue jacket and a blue hat.
Your safety gear was a glow stick.
My safety gear glow stick. And my wife told me as we were driving home, she goes, the blue man was pretty lame. I'm like,
unless you're part of a group, and then you're awesome, I guess. So,
yeah, the Blue Man Group is phenomenal. But so, out of all that, what do you want your kid to grow up experiencing?
Well, I didn't really want to do anything with it. We know a couple of people in our neighborhood, and I wanted to basically take the kid that they'd seen on multiple occasions out with his little costume, and it was really basic. It was a Batman t-shirt with a Batman mask that he wouldn't wear for more than 5 seconds at a time. And a cape that my wife sewed together, which, props, honey. I didn't expect you to do any sewing for his costume, but you did it anyways. And it was like, we're not exactly in a really well-knit community, where everybody knows everybody and everybody's waving all the time and everybody's like, oh, let's all join up at the park and have a group meeting every other weekend and talk about what we think that everybody should do. It's literally, I see you, I don't wave, I don't say hi. It's not really worth the time because the few people that we do know in the neighborhood are the few people that we want to know in the neighborhood, honestly. There's not a lot of people out here that we're like, hey, you should come over to our house, and we've invited some people over for different events, and it didn't really happen. So I figured Halloween night would be see the people that want to see us, in a sense, and call it quits because I don't need the extra candy. He's 2 years old. You know,
He doesn't need a lot.
I'm not going to give him, 45 fun-size Snickers. That's like 40 full-size Snickers to him. You know what I mean? It's not cool to give that to your kids. So you got to like...
Turns him into a little crazy person.
Yeah, and it's always late at night because I work, a later shift, a medium late shift. And I was like, I don't really need to participate in that. And so I know I'm going to be eating the candy. And my wife bought candy for...
It's not a bad plan.
She bought candy for the rest of the people. We didn't even give it all out. I was giving it out 5 pieces at a time. But it's all fun-size stuff. And you get 200 pieces in a bag. And you're like, wow, I can't just throw wads of candy at people. That's called salt nowadays,
I was impressed.
Participation trophies. They're going to get hit with an M&M in the side of the head.
I was impressed that you had a costume.
I've had that costume going on 9 months. Like I bought it back in...
But you had a full-grown man. This is a tall guy. You had a full-grown man Minion costume.
Yeah.
And it was good.
A onesie.
It was good.
Yeah.
I think for me,
Somebody said I look like a chicken. Like they were walking down the street and they said, "Is that a chicken?" Like something like that.
Were they drunk?
I ignored it. I don't know.
I want my kids to experience... And this pumpkin thing is one of the examples. Like, I feel like as a dad, I do these things for my kids that I know are going to be good in the long run. But like scraping pumpkin guts out of a pumpkin is not something that 7-year-old girls want to do.
No, and I'm done with that.
But I did have one who said she worked at it and worked at it, and she got it all the way done. She said, "Dad, I got it all done, and you didn't have to help me with mine." And I said, "Good job. Thanks for not giving up." She goes, "I don't give up easy, Dad." I said, "All right.
See, if you can...
That's called grit, and we're gonna give that a name."
If you can instill that into your kids and, don't give up and all that. But if you don't go down to scarestore.com or something like that and pick up the generic boxed outfit that looks like everybody else. Like I saw at least 5 of the same people.
Oh, really?
Not same person, but 5 of the same character. And I think it was like Joker, Harley Quinn. There was a couple of the other ones from some of the movies and stuff like that. And it's, some basic stuff. I saw a kid wearing you might get this reference, an Ichigo mask, Bleach.
Oh, yeah.
Anime series. He was wearing a mask and I said, "Oh, cool, Bleach." And he's like, "What?" He didn't even know what he was wearing. He just thought it was a cool, scary mask.
It just looked cool.
Right? And it was like, oh, okay, so there was an opportunity for, some sort of intelligent connection that I get what you're doing. I'm an adult, you're a kid, like it's not just about we're on the same level. It's like I'm connecting with you as a person who had a similar interest, but you don't actually have that interest. You're just, oh, it's cool. It's like in 20 years' time, it'll be, so what did you do for Halloween? Well, I checked my messages, and nobody sent me the emoji.
I saw a lot of that. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, but I saw a lot of parents staring at their phones while their kids ran up to the door.
Right.
And I
took 4 pictures with my cell phone.
I don't think that's bad. I just think it's like, it becomes, that's not what I want my kids to have for a holiday.
No.
I feel like I'm distracted already enough in my life. I feel like I already have enough things that I have going on. I get wrapped up in projects. I get wrapped up in games or entertainment or whatever. And so there's enough things already where I feel like my kids don't see me engaged. So when I'm carving a pumpkin or when I'm building a gingerbread house with them at Christmas or when I'm taking them out trick-or-treating, when I'm being engaged with that, I don't want to be disconnected from that experience because they were so happy to come down the road and show me. Like, I think Olivia showed me every single piece of candy that she got.
Yeah.
Like, I got a status report at the bottom of every driveway. Dad, this candy was full-size candy bars.
And if you weren't currently monitoring your intake right now, it would have been,
I ate.
Take that.
I ate too. We did tell our kids. We did the Jimmy Kimmel thing. We threw the video up.
Yeah.
We told our kids that we decided. My wife and I decided to do it last night. we told the kids that we ate all their Halloween candy this morning, and 3 of the 4 were tricked, and one of them said there wasn't enough garbage there for you to have eaten it all, and you would have had a belly date. And Mom was smiling when she told us, I'm not tricked. She was having none of it. The other 3 lost their minds.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You guys should watch that.
So we don't. I have no idea if we'll get picked by Jimmy Kimmel, but we put it up there. We did the effort, and I was glad that we did it.
I would say out of
My wife felt really bad.
You got your kids, cute kids. I like them generally. They're not my kids, so you know how that goes.
Sure.
But they look horrible when they cry. They look distraught.
Just terrible.
They look like
Poor suckers.
Girls who were left at the altar, essentially. Like, they were so torn up by losing that candy. It was, I don't know how you wouldn't get picked. That was, as best worst reactions go, that was awesome.
That was up there.
I laughed.
There was no flailing, but there was there was some lost minds. So guys, that's what's up this week. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, comment, follow us, share us.
Check us out on our other videos.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot more of them coming. So, but yeah,
that's it.
Happy Halloween in the past, and this is just basically a status update. But maybe next year, if this video, since the internet never dies, right? This is going to be up there next year too, and maybe somebody will watch it then and say, "Wow, this is some interesting advice." Maybe it won't be on my cell phone. So,
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, see ya.